everyone, welcome back to Jikook Universe. Have you ever felt a connection so quiet, yet so powerful, that it lingers even when one person is no longer in the room? Some bonds don't need constant presence to be felt. They live in memories, in glances, in the way someone's name is spoken with warmth and care. Tonight we're diving into moments that may seem simple at first. Words said casually, memories recalled softly, but carry emotions far deeper than they appear. Because when it comes to Jimin and Jungkook, even the smallest details often reveal the strongest truths. Let's take a closer look. In the most recent live broadcast featuring Jungkook alongside Jin and Taehyung, one thing was immediately clear from the very beginning. Jungkook's feelings for Jimin have never faded. Jimin did not need to be physically present for his presence to be felt. The memories Jungkook mentioned, the way he spoke, and the softness in his expressions were enough for many to understand that their bond remains alive, strong, warm, and deeply meaningful. Throughout the live, the atmosphere felt relaxed. Jungkook laughed freely with Jin, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Everything seemed light and natural, until the Gayo Christmas medley began to play. Jungkook reacted almost instantly, as if those memories had been waiting quietly for the right moment to resurface. What made the moment even more touching was that Jin remembered it right away as well. Without needing many words, they were both connected to the same special memory, one that holds great significance for many people. That medley was not just another performance. It was a moment when Jungkook and Jimin shared the stage, their voices, and an energy that felt unmistakably different. There was a harmony that went beyond music, a connection that could be felt rather than explained. Many remember it with affection because it reflected trust, silent understanding, and an emotional closeness that felt genuine. Even though Jimin was not physically present during the live broadcast, Jungkook did not allow that memory to fade. He spoke about it with a sincere smile, using that familiar tone he always has when something truly matters to him. Jungkook does not speak carelessly. When he brings memories into the present, it is because they carry weight, because they are part of who he is. And Jimin clearly holds a very important place in his personal history. The fact that Jin also remembered that moment speaks volumes. It is part of the shared history they built together as a group. Jungkook and Jimin have shared countless experiences. Training, stages, travels, exhaustion, joy, and quiet moments in between. They grew up side by side, supporting each other through difficult times and celebrating happiness together. That closeness remains visible even when one of them is not in the room. At the time, that medley made some people uncomfortable. However, discomfort does not change its essence. Jungkook and Jimin stayed true to themselves, continuing to express their feelings through music and presence. In this live broadcast, Jungkook seemed to reaffirm that those memories are not lost, hidden, or forgotten. He carefully carries them with him and brings them back whenever his heart feels the need. Jikook has always communicated something beyond words. Their connection is built on time, respect, and visible affection. Even when they are not physically together, they continue to remember each other, mention each other, and hold space for one another. There is a constant sense of togetherness, as if distance does not truly exist. The way Jungkook recalled those moments made Jimin feel present even off camera. Watching Jungkook smile as he remembered and seeing Jin nod in quiet understanding was deeply moving. It was proof that what they shared left an impression, not only on them but also on the people around them. The live broadcast also included a moment that sparked strong reactions. When Taehyung casually mentioned that he would sleep next to Jungkook, Jungkook responded firmly and clearly, "No." That brief response caused discomfort and sadness for some, especially those who had built certain expectations. Soon after, harsh comments began to surface, as if Jungkook had done something wrong. In reality, what happened was far simpler and far more honest. Jungkook was simply being himself, direct, sincere, and calm in setting boundaries. He is not someone who hides his feelings to please others. His way of speaking, reacting, and making decisions has always been clear, even when it does not satisfy everyone. He does not allow himself to be shaped by external expectations, especially when they conflict with his emotional well-being. In that moment with Taehyung, Jungkook expressed what felt natural to him without any ill intent. Unfortunately, many interpreted his response as cold or rejecting when in truth, it was an expression of honesty. Over time, one thing becomes increasingly evident. Jungkook is genuinely comfortable around Jimin. This closeness does not appear suddenly, nor does it depend on context. Jungkook smiles differently when he is with Jimin. He looks more relaxed, more expressive and more affectionate. This has been visible on countless occasions, both in quiet moments and spontaneous situations. Moments where there is no room for pretense. In the latest episode of Are You Sure?, Jungkook spoke very naturally about sharing a bed with Jimin. It was not a casual remark. His reaction was sincere, even enthusiastic, accompanied by expressive gestures. His tone, facial expression, and body language conveyed joy and emotional closeness. Over time, Jungkook has repeatedly shown that he enjoys sleeping beside Jimin, leaning on him, seeking his presence and sharing emotionally intimate space. When Jungkook is with Jimin, he does not appear guarded or distant. Instead, he looks as though he is in a safe place, one where he can lower his defenses. This explains why his reaction differed when Taehyung mentioned sharing a bed. Jungkook already has a clearly defined emotional space, and that space is occupied. This was not about rejecting someone but about being honest with his feelings and with the person who makes him feel whole. For many, that moment reaffirmed the strength of the Jikook bond. Jungkook does not need grand speeches to express how he feels. His actions, gestures, and choices speak for him. Every time he naturally chooses Jimin, he makes it clear where his heart belongs. This connection is built on simple things: small gestures, gentle glances, and consistent presence. Jimin and Jungkook do not need many words to understand each other. The way Jimin looks at Jungkook with full attention, and the way Jungkook finds calm simply in Jimin's presence, reflect trust that has been built slowly through time and shared experiences. Jungkook's love for Jimin feels deep and quiet. It does not need to be announced or displayed. It simply exists, steady and constant. It shows in how he cares, in the priorities he sets, and in the choices he makes again and again. Jimin responds with the same warmth, sensitivity, and sense of safety. Together they create a dynamic that feels gentle and authentic. A relationship that is not forced, does not require proof, and feels powerful precisely because of its simplicity. Jikook is built in moments that may seem small, yet carry great meaning, and it is there that their beauty truly lives, leaving a lasting impression on anyone who knows how to observe closely.